Come on, judges.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. This Circuit Court of the 11th Judicial Circuit in and for Miami-Dade County is now in session. The Honorable Judge Nucius Safely presiding. All having business before this court, come nigh and you shall be heard. God save the United States of America and this honorable court.
Thank you, Lair. Good afternoon, family, friends, here in the overflow rooms and out there on our virtual YouTube channel. Thank you for being here and welcome to the investiture of the Honorable Laura Gonzalez Marques as Circuit Court Judge of the 11th Judicial Circuit of Florida. While we remain standing, this week we lost somebody who was a veteran, not just of the county court, circuit court, and the 3rd DCA, a dear friend to the courts, a former public defender, and the dearest of public servants, Eric Hendon. I'd like us to take a moment of silence. Thank you so much. And our hearts and our thoughts are out with Diane Hendon, his wife, who's most of us know from the state attorney's office. She's a wonderful person, and to his family. Please remain standing as we ask some very special guests to come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. This is Judge Gonzalez Marquez's godson, Gabriel Cardinal. Ready for action, age 2.5. With the assist from his parents, attorney Daniel Cardinal, and his mom, law professor Alyssa Del Riego. There you go. Perfect.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For all.
If we rate these on cuteness, that was a 10. And please continue to remain standing as we welcome, I'm going to say welcome back, Father Alejandro Rodriguez Artola, the Judges Catholic Church. Yes.
Almighty Father, you have brought us to the light of a new day. We pray that you will create among us good and faithful leaders, individuals made in your image who will apply your teachings in their lives and positively impact our families, our workplaces, and our communities. Help us to inspire those with whom we come in contact to share their goodness and talents and to do your will. Make us leaders, Lord, leaders with strength and courage to follow your truth and your light. Leaders who make your truth and light visible to the world in all of our words and actions. Father, may everything we do begin with your inspiration and always find its origin in you. Let our works, by your gracious assistance, reach with your saving help a just completion. May you alone be the author and the finisher of our judgments. Do not allow us to disturb the order of justice, you who love equity above all things. Let not ignorance draw us into devious paths. Let not partiality sway our minds, or respect of riches or persons pervert our judgment, but unite us to you effectually by the gift of your grace alone, that we may be one in you and never forsake the truth. May we in all things hold fast to justice tempered by mercy, so that in this life our judgment may in no way be a variance with you. Remain with us and enlighten our hearts. Give us light and strength to know your will, to make it our own, and to live it in our own lives. Guide us by your wisdom, support us by your power, for you are God. Heavenly Father, you desire justice for all. Enable us to uphold the rights of others. Do not allow us to be misled by ignorance or corrupted by fear or favor. Unite us to yourself in the bond of love and keep us faithful to all that is true. May we always and always temper justice with love, so that all our decisions may be pleasing to you and earn the reward promised to good and faithful servants. Bless and keep safe the Honorable Judge, Laura Gonzalez Marques, through the intercession of Our Lady of the Divine Providence. This we pray in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Father, and everyone please be seated. On this special day, we have some VIPs, special guests that have joined us. We have our Supreme Court Justice in residence here in Miami, Justice John Coryell. You can clap. Y'all know I tried with that no clapping rule for a while and it didn't go anywhere, so go ahead. And from down the street, an alum of the 11th Judicial Circuit, Cecilia Altanaga, the Chief Judge of the Southern District of Florida. I'm kind of nervous because I've gotten to see her do a bunch of investitures, but even though I've done like 25 or 30 of them, I think this is the first one that I think you've been here that I've presided over, so I hope I do well. Ours is a little bit different than yours. I'm going to get my VIP list. Anyone from the 3rd? No. From the American Board of Trial Advocates, Miami-Dade chapter, that's a BOTA, we have Brendan Wass, the treasurer. From the Miami-Dade Trial Lawyers Association, we have Bobby Nunez, who's president-elect. From the League of Prosecutors, we have Marie Mato, past president. And I'll also point out that Marie is Judge Marques Gonzalez's division chief for the state attorney's office. We have from the 11th Judicial Circuit Judicial Nominating Commission, we have Kansas Gooden, the vice chair. We have Javier Soto, who wears so many hats, so buckle in for this. CABA president, freshly minted, and general counsel for Miami-Dade College as well. And from the clerk of courts, we have Luis Montaldo, general counsel. We also have very special guests who are part of our sort of court family, our justice family. And on behalf of Carlos Martinez is going to be here, so if he shows up, please let him know that I announced him. On behalf of our state attorney, Catherine Fernandez-Rundle, we have Chief Assistant State Attorney Steve Talpins. On behalf of Regional Counsel, we have Zena Duncan. And on behalf of himself, we have Juan Fernandez-Barquin, our clerk of courts. And finally, supporting our day-to-day operations with their expertise and wisdom, the people who make everything happen. There's 600 employees that keep 123 judges up and running. We're really nothing without them. Our trial court administrator, Deirdre Dunham, representing the Administrative Office of the Courts. Our general counsel, Pat Gladson, keeping us out of trouble. Our incredible audiovisual team and IT team that make this all possible and also make the YouTube channel possible, which has been a wonderful addition since the pandemic. Thank you to them. And our public information officer, Eunice Sigler. Her deputy, Matt Bodfield. And my incredible staff, Ricardo Ayala and Larry Chester. And you know, while you're all here, let me check my cell phone, because at this point it's usually where I get a lot of. We have Jesus Suarez here from the JNC. I think he's past chair, co-chair. Yes, I got that message. About 3 people told me that Jesus Suarez is here, so Mr. Suarez, you are well represented. And Marianne Ruiz, how did I miss Marianne? There she is. Board member and representative of Miami-Dade Florida Association of Women Lawyers. Okay. And with that, if anyone else is missed, please let me know. Now for remarks on behalf of the Florida Bar, we have incoming president and one of Miami's favorite sons, Roland Sanchez Medina, also a CABA past president, here today wearing a few hats.
May it please the court, Chief Josefi, Chief Judge Altanaga, Justice Curiel, all the other finest members of the bench that we have in the state of Florida, and Laura, and of course her family and friends. I'm happy to be here on this momentous occasion. So I'm here on behalf of the Florida Bar. Scott Westheimer, the president of the Florida Bar, sends his greetings. He's unable to be here today, but it's certainly my honor and pleasure as president-elect of the Florida Bar to say a few words about Laura on behalf of the Board of Governors and the 112 members of the Florida Bar. I'm pretty sure that the first time I met Laura was at the CABA Gala, and what I was able to recognize immediately was sort of her elegance and grace. And while I can't be prone to hyperbole, I did a little bit of homework, and my first impression was right on. Nevertheless, for the investiture, I needed to learn a little bit more about Laura. So I think we all know Laura comes from a very impressive family filled with lawyers and doctors and even retired judges. And she wears the adoration of her family on her sleeve. In particular, I found really warming your comments about your grandmother, Nana, when she passed away, and what an influence she was in your life. And it goes without saying that she's here prouder than ever. So her family inculcated a commitment to education. She went to Lourdes Academy, then she ended up going to the University of Florida. Some people would say that's maybe the only questionable decision she's made. I would never say that in a public venue, though. So she ended up going to Columbia Law School. So let's check the intelligence box for Laura, one of the requirements to be a great judge. Laura ended up working at 2 of the best law firms in the country, at Holland & Knight and Cobra Kim. And, in speaking to several of the lawyers at those firms, she left an indelible mark at those firms. She was thoughtful. It was mentioned several times about her humanity and her compassion, how smart she was. She was a great mentor. I even heard that, she would send cupcakes to every litigation group whenever they started litigation. That was one of the things that she did. So let's check off the experience box and the humanity box for Laura in order to be a great judge. I learned that she helped raise money for several charitable causes, including for needy children. Let's check off the compassionate box for Laura. Judge Demetrius mentioned to me that she's a very talented singer as well, too. And so, let's just go ahead and say it. She's a very impressive and talented human being. What she's already demonstrated on the bench is that she's very talented, she's compassionate, she's humane, and will continue to do so on the circuit bench. And I'm really here honored to be a part of this day, Laura. This is a wonderful little slice of life, and I'm just so grateful that you allowed me to be a part of this, and just participating even in a couple of minutes of remarks is a very special thing for me. So congratulations. You're going to make all your family and friends and the bench extremely proud, and Godspeed in your new role. Thank you very much, Laura.
Thank you, Rolly. I neglected to introduce y'all to one of our newest judges, the resident baby judge, Jason Redding Quinones. He's official. He's official as of yesterday, and we welcome him to the bench. And one day soon, we'll be here for you, Jason, too. And now for remarks on behalf of the Miami-Dade Bar Association, we have the president of the organization and a distinguished attorney, and also someone from Miami-Dade lawyer royalty, Suzette Russomano.
May it please the court, Chief Judge Safey, members of the judiciary, my esteemed colleagues, and most importantly, the Honorable Laura Maria Gonzalez Marques and her family and friends. As president of Miami-Dade Bar and on behalf of our members, I am honored and privileged, grateful to be here today to congratulate Judge Gonzalez Marques to the circuit court bench. And as part of these investiture speeches that I'm so honored to give, I get to speak to some of the judge's colleagues and get some feedback and words of wisdom about this wonderful judge. And so I had the honor of speaking to Judge Benavides about Judge Gonzalez Marques. I asked her, what makes Judge Gonzalez Marques an asset to our bench? And she said, she has all the qualities you want in a judge. She's smart, decisive, even-tempered, and hardworking. I distinctly remember her wanting to know everything there was about Pip her first day. Her work ethic is relentless. She is determined not just to get it right, but to understand why, in fact, it is right. She loves challenges, whether deciding complex legal issues or running half marathons. Okay, we gotta work on that one, but if that wasn't enough, she can potentially challenge Martha Stewart on the proper etiquette of setting a dinner table, and of course, we all know that she's a soprano singer. I think she may have locked herself into singing the Cuban national anthem at all Caba galas in the future. But personally, this is what stood out to Judge Benavides. Judge Marques is a wonderful daughter, sister, aunt, and friend. And what I loved about something that Judge Benavides shared with us is that everyone knows in the judges' circle that Fridays are sacred. That Friday nights are because she does not want to miss having dinner with her parents. And that truly stood out to me, someone that not only has the legal acumen, but also has that same discipline for her family life. And that's the kind of judge and role model that us lawyers want on the bench. Judge Enriquez also shared some great words with me and says, Judge Gonzalez Marques has a great moral compass. I love bouncing ideas off of her. She's intellectually curious, always wanting to learn, and is very ethical. So, Judge Gonzalez Marques, thank you for allowing me to be here today with you and to share in this celebration. On behalf of the Miami-Dade Bar, I present you with this Bible to keep in your chambers, and may you always be a beacon of fairness, able to discern what is right and just in every case over which you preside. Congratulations, we're very proud of you.
She's always dressed really well, but today, did you guys notice the cape? That is so cool. She's a superhero in addition. So this is the part that all new judges love, and the rest of you have to sit through, but this is the part where we get to present the judge with their new swag. So first, next to your county court plaque, you now have the desk plaque from the Conference of Circuit Judges. You have a plaque from the American Board of Trial Attorneys. You also have a plaque from the Miami-Dade Florida Association of Women Lawyers. I believe Bobby Nunez is going to be handing off something special to you too that he hopes you never use on him.
This is on behalf of the Miami-Dade trial lawyers, a token of our appreciation.
But now you got to open it up and show everyone because they're like, what's she talking about? Ah, the gavel. And also, don't sit down yet, Laura. Javi Soto, president of CABA, here to present with you something from CABA.
Thank you, Chief Judge. Welcome. Everybody thank you very much. I had the opportunity on behalf of the Cuban American Bar Association to give two presentations over to Chief Judge Gonzalez Marques. Just before I do so, I just want to make a remark. It's already been mentioned a couple of times, but I do want to thank Judge Gonzalez Marques for gracing us with her beautiful voice during the Caba Gala this year and singing the Cuban national anthem. I will give you one little tidbit is when I asked her to do so, her first reaction to me was, but I'm Puerto Rican. And my response was simply to her, I was like, there's no way that we can't deny everybody the beauty of your voice and your song, and thank you very much for that. So with that, I'm going to present you with our plaque that includes a quote from Jose Marti that says, I want the first law of the land to be the full dignity of all men. And secondarily, what I'd like to give you is a special gift that we have for our 50th anniversary that CABA is celebrating, is a challenge coin that includes our logo from the Oro de Ley together with the names of all 50 presidents of the Cuban American Bar Association. Thank you, and good luck on the bench.
And now for personal remarks. On behalf of the judge's family and friends, please welcome her best friend and partner at Middleburg, Coleman, Bryson, Phillips, and Grossman, Natalie Rico.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is a true pleasure to be here in such esteemed company to celebrate Judge Gonzalez Marques. Gonzalez Marques and I have known each other since high school. If you're merciful, you will not ask when that was. And of course, back then, she was not Judge Gonzalez Marques. She was Laura, a wide-eyed 16-year-old with dreams of either being the next great legal mind or being the next starlet to grace the Broadway stage. We all know which direction she chose. However, anyone who saw her at CABA would know it very easily could have gone the other way. When preparing to talk today, I kept thinking to myself what my younger self would have thought if you told me that my dear, dear friend would be elevated to circuit court, would be a member of our judiciary. And I'm thinking, this is the girl that, I sang with in Lord Singers, we rode to gigs with, we spent, still do, hours singing Broadway duets or talking about Shakespeare or Star Wars or Jane Austen or Harry Potter or all the tons of things she loves. And when I was thinking about that, I thought, okay, my younger self probably would not have been surprised in the slightest. Because Laura, as so many people have said before me, has always been brilliant. In high school, in college, in law school, always honors classes, always top of her class. When we were in Lourdes together, we were in AP Spanish together. And I'm going to, because I love you, admit that I'm a year older than Laura. It was an AP Spanish class with all seniors and maybe 3 juniors, and she was one of them. So she's just always been brilliant. UF, and I'm gonna share the sentiment that nobody's perfect. Go Canes. Columbia, several prestigious law schools. It is a stellar resume. But again, as others have said, that's not the magic. That's not why she is so well suited for our bench and why we are so fortunate to have her as a member of our judiciary. It is really, truly because of her character, caliber person that she is. That's what makes her the magnificent addition that she is. And that is frankly what helps me sleep at night knowing that someone like her is a member of our bench. And I would be remiss if at this moment I didn't mention that this is very largely due to the influence, love, and devotion of her parents, an educator and a physician. And their love and dedication is evidenced not only in Laura, but in her 2 sisters. And as everyone knows, she's deeply, deeply devoted to them. In any case, Laura is a deeply principled person. She always has been. And in the world that we live in now, that is not a small thing. As anybody who practices law knows, the rule of law is the crux of our system. Maintaining it, protecting it is pivotal for us and for next generations. And Laura is an individual who will make sure that she's doing that on a daily basis. She's dedicated. She is one of the hardest working people you will ever meet in your entire life. She's firm, but she's fair. And she takes so much pride in what she does. She is acutely aware of the huge responsibility that has been placed on her. Her presence bolsters my faith in our system every day, and I feel deep, deep pride in the makeup of our bench because of it. And I'm just so pleased to be here today to say all of this. Life is a very interesting thing. It's a winding road, and it takes you down new paths. And when you're at the beginning of one, you never know exactly where it's going to end up. And there's uncertainty, but there are moments in life where you just know that things are how they're supposed to be. The day that she was named to our bench was one of those days for me. I'm very, very pleased to say that today is another. Congratulations.
And now for more remarks on behalf of the judge's family and friends, we have her sister, also an attorney at Jenner and Block, Marie Carmen Gonzalez Marques.
I had a printing mishap, so this will be coming from my phone. Thank you, everyone, for being here today to celebrate my sister. I wanted to start off by saying that she originally wanted my husband to speak, but he couldn't make it, so I'm his understudy. I'm not offended. Last time I did Pledge of Allegiance, so this is a promotion. I did collaborate with Ray a little bit, just so you had a piece of him today, since he was your first choice. So I'll start by saying that I thought about how it's really common within a family for one member to act as the arbiter of justice, to ensure that the family is being fair and giving equitable voices to all people. And no one serves that role better in my family than Laura. Every Nochebuena, my family, along with the chamorros, get together and we play a version of White Elephant. I'm not going to go into what it is, but it's a sort of game with gifts that has a lot of rules. And as anyone who knows Laura can imagine, Laura commands that living room. As we clamor for Laura to bend the rules, to let us steal one more present, or let us trade one more time, she listens gracefully and deliberates. And unfortunately for me, she usually declines any change to any rule. Just this past Nochebuena, many of us, mostly me, began claiming that there was collusion. We saw a family of four, two small children, whispering and scheming to get prizes, and what I still maintain should be classified as racketeering. Laura again deliberated. Laura saw through our theatrics, our chanting, our flailing limbs, our raised voices, and she looked at the facts. In the end, Laura found we had not presented enough evidence. While I did not agree, I knew it was just. Now, Laura has many accomplishments in life that would make her a good judge. But if we are being honest, and I am going to be honest, it isn't just the accolades she has earned in her career that made her into the judge she is now, but it's the many fragments of her life as a sister that have molded her into such a great interpreter of the law. In my personal opinion and my limited professional experience, I find that the best qualities of a judge revolve around three key attributes. It's the ability to have an impartial eye, the ability to listen well, and the ability to have a kind and empathetic soul. Laura embodies all those characteristics. I remember one time when we were all together for the holidays, my husband and Laura were discussing how little decisions can greatly impact the people we serve. I noticed in that conversation that for Laura, it impacted her soul on how she served people. She viewed being a judge as an act of service. I can see the burden that she must bear from time to time, where decisions to be impartial can impact her heart. Some may say she embodies both sides of the force because she is able to balance all things in one. Again, Laura does the law thing very well. but when it comes to family, no one does it better. As the first daughter in our family, she always, sometimes unfairly, had to set the path. And growing up, she always made it look easy. I was in awe of how she could study the night before a test while watching West Wing and ace it. She could sing and act in any play without a hint of nerves, and even now, she remembers every single person's birthday, anniversaries, or milestones. She's been the glue in our family, keeping us all together. One of the best things about Laura, and maybe my favorite thing, is her heart. She is a good person. She's slow to criticize and quick to forgive. She sees people not for who they were or who they are on their worst days, but who they can be. It's that generosity of spirit that makes me know this is the right path for her. I know it will not always be easy, but like Laura is with our family, no one will do it better.
You know, the day's not complete without laughs and tears, and you brought us both, so that was perfect. And now for the oath of office and robing, I would like to ask our favorite Florida Supreme Court Justice, Justice Coriel, don't tell the others, to join Judge Gonzalez Marques and her family at the podium for the oath. Welcome back from 2 years ago, her father, Dr. Luis Gonzalez Mendoza, her mother, Ms. Catalina Marquez de Gonzalez, Sister Marie Carmen, you've already met, and with us in spirit is Dr. Catalina Gonzalez Marquez, her other sister who couldn't make it today, and the brother-in-law who couldn't make it today either.
Ready?
Yep.
Please raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government of the United States of America
the Constitution and government of the United States of America
and of the state of Florida,
and of the state of Florida,
that I am qualified to hold office
that I am duly qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state of Florida,
under the Constitution of the state of Florida,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
and that I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of Judge of the Circuit Court
the duties of Judge of the Circuit Court
of the 11th Judicial Circuit
of the 11th Judicial Circuit
of the state of Florida,
of the state of Florida,
on which I am now about to enter.
on which I am now about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Look at Matt for photo op. And now she's going to sing her speech.
Thank you, Chief Judge Saifi, and thank you to all of you who are here today, taking time out of what I know are very busy schedules. It is an honor to have you here, and again, I am humbled by the support that each of you has given me along this journey, from childhood to high school, to law school, and then the legal profession, this room is made up of a patchwork testament to what has been a most blessed path. I must begin, as always, by thanking Almighty God for his blessings and protection and for watching over me as part of his flock. To him goes all the glory, and to him goes all the thanks. For God is the greatest judge, and it is by his standard and grace that anything is possible. I owe additional thanks to our governor and his staff for again bestowing on me such an honor and elevating me to the circuit court. I wish to thank the members of the 11th Judicial Circuit Nominating Commission, then Chairman Allende, Vice Chairman Diamond, Robert Pardo, Kansas Gooden, Walter Harvey, Hayden O'Byrne, Robert Fernandez, Miranda Soto, and Jesus Suarez for their dedication to this circuit, the hours spent reviewing applicants and conducting interviews, and for putting my name forward for consideration. I hope I make you proud. Individual thanks must also be given to all those who made today possible, to Chief Judge Safey, her assistant Ricarda, Larry, Eunice Siegler, and the entire site's crew, and the dozens of people who work behind the scenes to make these moments individual and special. Thank you. But especially to my judicial assistant, Ada Nieves, who's sitting back there, for keeping everything going and making sure I show up where I need to be. Thank you, Ada. Father Alejandro, once again, I am so appreciative for your guidance that you have given me and my faith, for your friendship, and what I'm sure have been many prayers on my behalf. St. Thomas the Apostle has always been a place that I've called home, and having you here brings a part of that home to this most special occasion. Justice Curiel, John, thank you again from the bottom of my heart for being the most amazing, patient, and guiding of mentors. For the last 8 years, I have always been able to count on your unfailing support and honesty, and it is an honor to have you here today. And I know he's outside, but to my payaso, my Gabriel, you may not remember today as you get older, but I hope that I make you proud as your madrina. You are the light and joy to everyone who comes into contact with you. Y lo hiciste muy bien. Madrina te quiere mucho. To Natalie and Mari Carmen, thank you for your words today. Nat, from the Wizard of Oz, we've followed quite the yellow brick road, haven't we? My friend, I can definitely stand here today and say that you have changed my life both for the better and for good. I love you. Mari Carmen, you always awe me with how amazing you are. You are destined to turn this world upside down in the best of ways, and there is no one better to have by my side. Thank you for coming from Chicago to be here today, and you are never the second choice. Thank you also to Suzette, Roland, Javi, and Bobby, not only for being here today, but for the tremendous work you do on behalf of all of the bar associations in Miami. Thank you to my colleagues who have welcomed me so warmly. To Gina, Robert, Monica, Ariana, Nushin, Gordon, Milena, Andrea, Bertie, Miguel, Lodi, Christy, and some who I am sure I've accidentally left out. If you ever got tired of my phone calls, none of you have ever shown it. Thank you for answering my questions, letting me shadow you, and being true friends and colleagues. My transfer to circuit court was admittedly a bittersweet one. I thoroughly loved my time on the county bench, not just because of the work, but because of the embrace that I received from all of my colleagues. To all of you, I am grateful to have been able to learn from each of you and have gained your friendship. Most especially to my colleagues in South Dade, Larry, Gloria, Linda, Louise, Michelle, and Lisette. You are the best of the best. And I can't tell you how much I miss being able to walk in your offices on a daily basis, either for a chat or for another cafecito. I am again thankful to all of my mentors and former coworkers for their guidance and lessons that I have taken with me throughout my career. Thank you to my colleagues from the 3rd District Court of Appeal, Holland and Knight, and Cobre and Kim. Our legal community is strengthened by having you make up its members. I have been grateful to have worked alongside each of you, and I am humbled by the continual support I have received from so many of you in the last 2 years, especially to Matt Menschel, my honorary tío, Raul Cosillo, Evelyn Sheehan, Rudy Sarando, Gabby Ruiz,
George Mencio, Angel Cortinez, Michael Kim, Frank Shepard, Sean Buckley, Daniel Zahir, Steve Cobre, and Judge Altanaga. To my network of friends who have supported me on this journey we call life, I am blessed to have you with me. It's a long list. Bear down. To Javi, Sargon, Hattie, Yono, Harut, Pedro, Juan, Megan, Nathan, Demoris, Mikey, Josh, Rebecca, Craig, Mark and Ashton, Jay, John, Amanda, Alex, Erica, Taylor, Jonathan, Ricky, Ali, Enrique, Zach, Jean, Monique, Danny, Russ, Ryan, Vladi, and Peter. You are my extended family who have provided a richness and depth to my life, weaving the most beautiful patchwork quilt into existence. I love all of you so much. And to the bonus sisters who have been my tribe, Alyssa, Christina, Natalie, Christy, and Maggie. The 5 of you are some of the most amazing women that I have ever known. But more than the successes you've had in your careers, your ability to love and support is unmatched. Whenever I have doubted, you've pushed me forward. Whenever I have slipped, you were there to pick me up. And whenever the load got too weighty to carry on my own, you were there to share it or take it on for a time until I could find my footing. I love you. To my family here and far away, who I am and where I stand today is only possible because of you. God blessed me in ways that I cannot count to be both a member of the Gonzalez and the Marques clans. To my brothers-in-law, Ray and Joel, thank you again for loving my sisters in the way that you do. They smile in ways I had not seen before, and their lights are shining brighter thanks to you. To my sisters, Mari Carmen and Catiloles, thank you for your support, for the fights, for the love, and for being the amazing women that you both are. You are still my first phone calls and the beacon that calls this ship home when she needs a rest. I love you both so much. To my parents, Mama and Papa, whose determination and sacrifices ensured their 3 daughters had the best education possible and could strive for whatever dreams laid ahead. Thank you for all of it. Today is for you and only for you. You set the best example for us of how to be women of faith, ratified by a foundation of strong morals and a desire to do what is right when we saw wrong, to be strong in our convictions, but never so stubborn as to be unyielding. Admittedly, the last one is a little hard for me. I hope that I have lived up to the example that you've set for us. Lo quiero y lo adoro. Alexander Hamilton, when fighting for the ratification of our Constitution, stated that the complete independence of the courts of justice is peculiarly essential to a limited constitution. The last 2 years have given me a new appreciation for the essential truth behind these words. Without our courts, civil disputes between neighbors and businessmen go unsettled. Without our courts, due process goes without protection. Without our courts, litigants and defendants lack a platform with which to bring forth their claims and defenses. For without our courts, there would be no one to, quote, declare the sense of law, as our founding father once said. I have watched firsthand how diligently my colleagues work day after day to ensure that this branch of government remains at full strength. I hope that in my time on the bench, I have added to that strength and not served as a detraction. I made a promise when I took the bench to serve this community with a servant's heart, be faithful to the rule of law, and work with diligence to serve this circuit. I have endeavored to keep that promise each and every day that I have donned this black robe and set foot in the courthouse. I ask for forgiveness where I have failed, and I recommit to those promises with as much fervor today as when I took the oath for the first time in October of 2021. As I look ahead to the task of a circuit court judge, I hold fast to the prayer written by President Abraham Lincoln in 1860. May the Almighty grant that the cause of truth, justice, and humanity shall in no way suffer at my hands. Thank you.
when she mentioned Hamilton, I'm not gonna lie, I was secretly hoping she was gonna break into song. So welcome to the circuit bench, Judge Gonzalez Marques. I want to point out that I rode up the elevator today for this investiture with a group of lawyers from the Richard E. Gerstein building that are now presiding, where Judge Gonzalez Marques now presides. And it was a group of public defenders and state attorneys sharing the elevator, all here, peace and harmony, kumbaya, but they're all here united in their support for a new judge, which does not happen all the time. So that's, honestly, that's a great indication of how she's doing. 2 years ago when I was here, less than 2 years ago when I was here at your first investiture, I talked about how Justice Coriel, who's a friend of mine at the time, called me up and said, hey, you know, she's great, whatever. And I thought, okay, well, John likes her, that's good. And then Chief Judge Soto says she went to Lourdes, which you all know. I'm surprised there wasn't more of a yipping and a yayin when Lourdes came up. Come on, yeah. Because when the Blend boys are in the house, we hear it. So come on, ladies. Let's go. So, but I've gotten to see in the last 2 years that on occasions like this, it's easy to be a good judge, right? We're in here and this is a great event and, you know, it's all celebration. The job of the judge is sitting in the chair and doing the work day in and day out and deciding the cases and ruling promptly and listening and treating people with dignity and respect and being an ambassador for justice and serving this public and giving this public that we serve faith in our system. And that's what she's been doing really well for the last 2 years, and that's what she's going to continue to do well on the circuit bench. So with that, congratulations, Judge Marques. On behalf of the judges and staff of the 11th Judicial Circuit of Florida, thank you for joining us today. Court is in recess, and for those of you that would like to greet the judge and her family, give her a minute because this crew is going to suck her up over here for some selfies, and then she'll be able to greet you over here to your right. Thank you so much. Court's in recess. Oh.
Laura. One second.
you.